So welcome everybody to our Wednesday night Free to Dream event. My name is Leah and I have been with the Juice Plus business for about 3 years now, and it's been pretty life-changing for me. And tonight's just really an opportunity for us to share some inspiring stories of how we've really been able to, I guess, create something different to the 9 to 5 and, create a bit more freedom, a few more options, be able to say yes to a bit more and, create a business in just the stolen moments of our lives around our families and the things we've already got going on. Tonight's not salesy at all. It's honestly, if this resonates with you, that's amazing. If it doesn't, that's okay too. We've got the gorgeous Lexee launching her business tonight. So if you've jumped on here to support her, I can see there's quite a few people. Thank you so much. I know that will mean a lot to her. And I actually believe Lexee hit her first promotion today, which is really exciting as well. So congratulations, Lexee. It's exciting to see what you're creating for you and your little family as well. So really, I guess we'll start with where it all began, which is our amazing whole food product and program. So I'm going to pass it on over to Ange now, who is going to share a little more about that.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me on tonight, and oh my goodness, congratulations Lexee, both on your launch and your promotion. I'm so excited for you. So yeah, I'm here to talk about our amazing product and program. So my name's Ange. Thank you for the intro, Leah. I've been in the wellness industry now for 15 years, and look, I've seen as a society how we just are getting sicker and fatter. There's so much chronic disease. There's so many people that are just lacking energy, and just really all it would take for so many of these people to be well and vibrant and live a great life would just be to look at making some changes in their diet and their lifestyle. And that is what our Juicy Body Transformation Program does. And look, I am so proud to align myself with this program. Its mission is truly to look at transforming health around the world. And I think that it's time, something needs to happen. And so basically our program, it just really concentrates on bringing us all back to the knowledge of eating whole foods. We all know that fruit and veggies are good for us, but we're not necessarily eating them, and there's numerous reasons why, but this here is a way to take out all the chemicalized products, all the products that are artificial that we shouldn't be eating, and just bring simplicity back to food and deliciousness back to food. We're not about counting calories. We know that deprivation doesn't work. I mean, I know that I'm the first person to admit that as soon as I can't have something, then I want it more. So it's not about deprivation. It's making all that food that you really want taste good, but also be healthy. And so, we've got all these amazing guides in there. There's pantry guides, there's shopping guides, there's meal guides. There's hundreds of amazing recipes that are designed by MasterChef finalists. So they're amazing, but they're so easy to make. And the ingredients are ones that you already have as well. These exercise programs, because we know that we need to move our body. And there's also a massive support network for so many health professionals and so many people to hold your hand and lift you up when you're kind of slumping a little bit. And then to go with our program, we also have our amazing nutritional support product that we use, and that is Juice Plus. To me, this is just a no-brainer. I mean, if we can think about what fruit and veggies do to us and how good they are for us, and if you think about the minimum fruit and veg that we need to just not to thrive, but just to function, just for all our cells and stuff to talk to each other, the minimum that we need is 5 and 2. How many of you guys got that today? And if you got it today, how many of you guys have consistently done that all week? I'm really, really conscious about my health, but I know that life also gets in the way. And, some days it gets challenging to get this in. So imagine what that could do for you and decrease that burden of disease later on down the track, and just do for your everyday simplicity of energy and immunity and things like that, if you could just get that basic 5 and 2 in. So, this is what our product does. I mean, I guess our main product with the Juice Plus is our premium product. So that's the veggies, fruit and berries. And so basically all it is, it's whole foods in a capsule. And you know, the food, it's picked at peak ripeness, and it's dehydrated at such low temperatures, and then it's encapsulated in a vegan capsule, and it's all done at these really low temperatures, and all done in a process that maintains the nutrients. And you know, it's batch tested multiple times to make sure that the nutrients are there, and it's also batch tested multiple times to make sure that there's no herbicides, no pesticides, no yeast, no molds, no bacteria, none of the stuff that are underlying precursors to like chronic disease and to disease. And you know, so we've got this amazing product. And then we've got like along with this is, I guess, the safety of it, because you would sit there and say, well, why wouldn't I just go and take a supplement, you know, off the shelf from a pharmacy? And I guess with that is, it's all synthetic, whereas this is whole food, and so your body knows what to do with whole food, so therefore it will digest it and it will use it as it needs to. You know, the other thing that I love about this is that, you know, because all the food is picked at peak ripeness, like the nutrition is there. Like if you think about what's going into our soil these days and what's going into our food, like when is our food picked, and then it's been cold stored, and then it's been gassed, and then, you know, it turns up in our supermarket shelves. And I know personally, like when I was eating really well and I was trying to recover from having babies, I couldn't recover. Like I didn't think that I needed supplements or anything like that, but I just couldn't recover. I was so tired and so depleted, and it wasn't until I started adding something extra into my diet that I actually started to feel good again. And so another part of this that I love is, I can't remember if I mentioned it or not already, but there's no warning labels on it. You know, you can take these when you're breastfeeding, you can take them when you're pregnant. And I mean, if you go in and you look at something and it's got a warning label saying you can't take it when you're breastfeeding and pregnant, like what does that say to you? Is it safe to take in the long term? You know, I feel like this is when we need them the most, is because this is when these babies and are taking all this from us, and then we can't take so much of the stuff. And so the other thing that I love about these, I guess this is a skeptic in me and the science background is me, is I love the studies behind them. You know, the studies show that they're bioavailable, which means that our bodies actually, it knows what to do with them, and it's actually using them, and it's in our bloodstream, and it actually showing that it works. You know, it also shows that it's actually making changes to the cells that are essential for our immunity. So it's giving us a better kickstart with immunity. And that's my personal story on this product. I've been taking it now for, almost 18 months, and I haven't been sick once, which has been incredible for me. And also the other thing that I love most about it that the studies also show is that it decreases inflammation. And I mean, this is huge because inflammation is pretty much the precursor to any disease that we have. We do have a couple more products. We have the kids' chews. These here, this company, I love it because if you've got a kid between 4 and 18, you get these babies for free if you're on the premium or the fruit and veggie capsule. So I don't know about you guys, but some days my kids are just absolute little monkeys when it comes to trying to get fruit and veggie into them. I mean, most of the time they're amazing, but sometimes they're not. And sometimes actually it's more my fault because I have one of those Mondays that I don't get it. So this is getting that into them. That's kind of the insurance policy, I guess. The other products we have, and this is probably one of my favorite products, is our omegas. The reason I love this so much is because we need omegas. Our body does not make them. So it doesn't make them by ourselves. So unless we're consciously putting omegas into our body somehow, we don't have them. And they're so essential for joint health, for brain health, for all these, you know, cardiac health, for all this, you know, all these systems that we need these omegas. And the reason I love these so much is because they take out the fish, they take out the middleman. So, you know, for me, that's a sustainability thing, but also it's, I guess, an environmental thing. Like if you think about what the fish are eating and the mercury and things like that goes into the fish oil. With these here, these are a vegetarian product or a vegan product. You know, it's just the plant, so it goes straight to the source. And then our final product is our complete powders. They come in chocolate as well. I ran out of my chocolate the other day, and so I had to snap from the source. But look, we don't condone these as a meal replacement, but they are so good on those days where, you know, you're trying to get out the door, or you're going to make that really poor option. I always have one of these in my handbags in case I get caught short, and it's just got such amazing stuff in it. You know, it's got things like broccoli sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, spirulina powder, pomegranate powder, yucca powder, mushroom powder, you know, and so all of these things are really huge to to our health. So I guess that is our product. You know, it's an amazing system for an all-round health system. You know, it gets our digestive, it gets our cardiovascular, and it also gets our nervous system. So there we go. You've got a complete package for like amazing vitality and health. And so I guess I'm going to pass on now to Charlie, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her story and what the Juice Product Plus products and the program have done for her. Oh, is she there?
I don't know that she's there. I think.
Hey, can I pass on to Karen then?
Yep, and I'll just have a look if I can find Karen.
Hey.
There she is.
Can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hi guys, my name's Karen, and look, I came across these amazing products probably about four to 4.5 years ago. A friend introduced them to me, and at the time I was pregnant and, you know, low on energy and all of those good things that happen. And she pretty much shared with me that they were amazing for, you know, energy, immunity, bridging the gap in nutrition and all of that stuff. And I was just like, you know, I was over the phone driving down the freeway, and I was like, yep, get me some of that. So that's how the product landed on my doorstep. And I was excited just for, you know, to feel the difference in, you know, with those couple of things. But look, for me, I've had eczema my whole life since I was a baby. I used to go to school every day with these like, you know, with steroid creams on my hands and these little white gloves I had to wear to school every day because my eczema was so bad. And they always just said that I would grow out of it over time. It's just one of those things. And, you know, over the years, even going into my 30s, the doctors were still like, you know, oh, steroid creams. There's nothing else that they could ever really, you know, recommend. And all that ever did was just mask the problem for a couple of days, and then it would be back again. And once I started on these products, it probably really took for me, a good 5 months, I would say, before I started to notice the difference eczema. And then by the 6th month, it was completely gone. And look, over 4 years later, I've never had eczema since. So for me, it's been absolutely like life-changing. I never would have thought that like such a basic concept of fruits, veggies, and berries could have that effect. But it's amazing that, you know, obviously your body just uses those nutrients where they're needed. So look, that's probably the main thing for me. But I've also had my kids on the products for the last couple of years as well. Seen huge differences with them. They used to be super fussy with not so much fruit, but definitely the veggies. They used to be terrible, and these days, you know, they're eating all the good stuff, which, you know, is just peace of mind for me that, you know, they're getting the extra nutrition through the product, but B, it's also helping them to crave more of, you know, more of those veggies that they didn't used to like eating before. So, and yeah, obviously since then, I've got my husband on it and my grandma on it and everyone else, because I think it's just one of those things that everyone, you know, and everyone needs in their life, because we all just lead, you know, such busy lifestyles these days and have the best of intentions, but it just doesn't, you know, always happen. And, you know, this is something that for me, it's definitely been life-changing, and it's something I'll continue to take forever. So yeah, can't recommend it enough.
Awesome. Thanks, Karen. I think we're going to pass on over to Lexee now, who is launching her business. So Lexee, if you just want to take yourself off mute, and if you just want to share with us a little bit about how this came into your life, and, you know, what you found. I know you've got a pretty awesome story about you know, what you found from the product and program, and then, you know, really why the business made sense to you. Oh, we can't hear you. Hang on a second. Let me just find. I'll try and mute you. Oh, there we go.
Okay. All right. So Megan, my friend, introduced me to Juice Plus initially. I said no, wasn't for me. But then, you know, she was talking about the Shred program. I reached out to her because I needed to lose weight. I had no energy. You know, I needed help. So I thought, stuff it, give it a try. So did the Shred, and then I got the premium capsules. And then after like the first day, I had all this new energy. So I thought that was pretty incredible. so I think because I had the energy as well, I was able to continue, you know, eating those whole foods, you know, sticking to your meal planning, cooking, you know, doing all the cleaning, everything, getting home from work, managing to kind of do it all and stick to it day in and day out. I think because I had that extra energy. So that was a real game changer for me. In the shred, I lost like 6 kilos in the 8 weeks. I've lost 8.5 kilos now. The food is fantastic. Like, I didn't feel deprived at all. You know, yeah, like that's been like a real game changer. My family have enjoyed the food as well. So yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes now. So at the business side anyway, what got me interested in it is I'm leaving my job shortly because we are moving to Albany because my husband got offered like his dream job and he's been doing FIFO for years. So we were looking for a way out. And then I saw this business as an opportunity for me to earn an extra income. I can work from home, you know, with Elijah. Maybe don't have to pay so much daycare. So yeah, I definitely went for it. Like, I did a lot of research. I Googled YouTube. I was up till like 1 a.m. one night trying to find something. Like, it's got to be dodgy. It's got to be dodgy. And I couldn't really find anything. There wasn't any like red flags. So yeah, I took that leap of faith and I went for it. And so glad I did. Like, I've had a really good experience. And, you know, I've hit my bonus in the first 10 days, which is great. And, you know, just not just the whole weight loss for me, but I've learned a lot more about the health benefits as well, which, you know, I'm really, you know, excited to share with everyone around me. You know, and even my skin's improved. Like, it's been 2 months. I'm not wearing any makeup anymore. So I'm out the door quicker every day, which is great for me. So yeah, just looking forward to where things take me with the business. And yeah, so thanks to everyone for tuning in, guys, for my launch, and I'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Lexee. It's so exciting having you come on board, and your story really resonates with me. You know, I'm a mama as well. Like I said previously, I actually came into this business 3 years ago. My first baby was about 5 months old, and at that stage, yeah, health wasn't amazing. And I was really looking for a way to, yeah, not have to put my child in daycare, quite similar, and be able to spend more time with them and be the mum that I wanted to be. But as all of us, or most of us, the life my husband and I had created for ourselves was really needed 2 incomes. And I didn't want all that financial burden to be on his shoulders and for him to have to, you know, slog his guts out and work really hard so that I could stay at home. So to be able to find an opportunity where I could do this around my family, still, you know, spend the time doing, you know, all the things that were really important to me, like being mum, was absolutely incredible. And the girl who actually introduced this to me, you know, she's got 3 kids and she did this around them and around her busy life. And she's actually been able to create a 6-figure income, which just sounded absolutely crazy. And like Lexee, I was pretty skeptical and I was looking for the red flags as well, because, you know, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. And I just thought, I don't know, this sounds a bit nuts. But at that stage, I just really wanted to look into it. I just did not want to return to a job that I didn't love anymore. You know, and I just thought there had to be more to life, you know. There had to be more to, you know, just doing this until retirement and then, you know, hoping that I had enough savings. And I guess, you know, we were just modelling what I'd seen my parents do. And they've worked really hard, created, you know, a really good life. But I didn't want to stay doing what they had done. Life has changed a lot since then. And this business model, although it seemed really different, just something about it really resonated with me. And here I am 3 years on, and I've been able to have a second baby. I haven't had to worry about, you know, maternity pay. My business really ticked along while I had some time off, and I've, you know, been able to create something pretty incredible that, you know, are just really around in stolen moments around my kids, and around, you know, life with my husband, and we've been able to do some really fun stuff. And it's just having that extra income has been able to allow us to say yes to more and not have the stress on our shoulders. You know, it's paid our mortgage. It's, you know, allowed me to fly to Melbourne, to the Gold Coast, just do things that there's no way otherwise I would have been able to do. And it's also given me something. You know, I think that as mums, it can be really easy to just, you know, fall into being mum. You know, it's a really important job, but it's also a really challenging job sometimes. And to be able to have an amazing community around us, you know, I've certainly created that. Not everyone's mums. There's people from all different backgrounds, and that's what I love. This can be something for everybody. But you know, I think it's saved me in some ways as well, and I hear that from so many people. You know, like I said, I was pretty skeptical, and one thing that I really worried about in the beginning is that I didn't have a big network. I was at home with this baby, and I had mother's group and swimming lessons, and they were like the only two things I did during the week, and I saw the same 7 people. I didn't have many friends on social media. I don't think I had an Instagram account. You know, it really, you know, I just thought to myself, how am I going to build a business? But I know in my mind, I knew in my mind that there were a couple of people who were in a similar situation to me, or, you know, I know that they would have loved to create a bit of extra income, or they wanted to improve their health. And what I really found is, you know, I had a couple of people that this really resonated with, and they had a couple of people that this sort of resonated with, and, you know, who wanted to improve things, and then it kind of grew from there. And I think that, you know, that's the beauty of something like this. It's not how many people you know or who you know, it's just a couple of people. And I think, you know, in my experience these days, you know, having more options and you know, an extra stream of income, a plan B that can sometimes become your plan A, is always a good thing. You know, I've seen certainly in this business that, you know, there's people who've made this plan A and it's been absolutely life-changing for them. And then there's been people where $500 to $1,000 a month has been life-changing. You know, I know if I had to think about what I had to do in my previous job to earn an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, you know, it would be quite a few extra hours, you know, behind the desk, you know, or being away, you know, putting in those extra time. Whereas, you know, being able to do this by choosing to, you know, hop into the office for an hour in the evenings, and I've been able to create that, you know, has been, is just, yeah, been pretty amazing. So I'm going to pass it over to Jess now, who's going to share a little bit about how this business has come into her life and how the changes it's made for her.
Thanks, Leah. Hi, everyone. I'm Jess. I came into this business about 15 months ago now, through seeing a post on Facebook. I'm a mum of a beautiful 2.5-year-old, and my husband's FIFO. When I was looking at this opportunity, I was looking at having to go back to my FIFO position, and my husband and I were pretty financially stressed. So I was still on my maternity leave and was looking at other options, because we couldn't really afford me to not work, but I really didn't want to go back to FIFO. So when I came across this opportunity, it just made perfect sense to me, and I'm so thankful that I heard about it, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to say that I've recently resigned from my position, so I don't have to worry about that anymore, and I can just focus on being a stay-at-home mum, which is what I just wanted to do all along. And I don't have to worry about putting her into daycare, which is pretty important to me. And what else? We've pretty excited. We've just got back from our first family holiday, and I was able to contribute, which is pretty awesome. It feels pretty awesome to be able to do that. This amazing business has opened up so many opportunities for my family and I, and my biggest aim is to bring my husband home from FIFO. I hate that he misses out on special moments, and I'd love him to be home more, and long term I'd love to be able to pay off our home and say yes to more, I guess. So pretty excited about our future, and excited that this has given us such an amazing opportunity. Yeah, so I will hand it to Jo now.
Thanks, Jess.
No worries.
Thanks, Jess. That's great. I haven't heard your story, and that's amazing. Congratulations on being able to retire yourself. So like Jess said, my name is Jo. I am based in Perth, and my story is not unsimilar to the others that you've heard tonight. I've been with the company now for the last 3 years. I'm a nurse by trade, and I wasn't looking for anything. I didn't know that anything else was out there that could provide this sort of income or things like that. And so my husband was FIFO as well, and so with him away, I was on the treadmill. You know, I was working, I was dropping the kids off at daycare or after school hours care in the mornings, and then picking them up sort of 10 hours later, which, you know, we'd get home, I'd throw some food down their throats if they would eat it, and then get them into the shower and straight into bed. And there was just no way to be we weren't having any fun. There was no vibrancy to our day. It was just, like I said, it was just that treadmill over and over again. And I found myself getting more and more cross and stressed, and it just wasn't worth it. So when I was introduced to this, I saw really quickly what the possibilities would be, and I was really lucky to be able to share it with a few people and just be able to find something that lit me up just as much as nursing did. So like Leah said, having that something for myself as a mum was really important, because I thought that I was defined by my job, by being a nurse, but that's actually not the case at all. So this, like I said, is something that really lights me up. I'm obviously passionate about health as well, but coming from a completely different perspective, it just lights me up in a completely different way. So I can then be a better mum and a better friend and a better wife, and just show up differently in the world, which I love. I'm excited. I was actually able to retire myself 12 months ago from nursing, and while I'm still looking at keeping my registration current, it's not something that I have to do anymore, which is great. When you think about the franchise cost for this business at $165 compared to what it cost me for my nursing degree, and I know others like Ange, I know, has got a degree as well. And when we look at the debt that comes with those sorts of that sort of study, there's just no comparison when you look at the possibilities that this sort of business provides. So I'm really excited to be able to share it, and thank you for having me on tonight.
So look, that's really it from us, guys. Thank you so much for being on here tonight, and we're here every Wednesday night. We'd love you to jump on and hear a little more from us. And if you've been here to support Lexee this evening, thank you so much. I know that she'll absolutely appreciate it, and yeah, it's exciting to see what you're creating for you and your family, Lexee. So yeah, look, if any part of this resonates with you, just encourage you to go back to the person who invited you here, get some questions answered. If you're skeptical, that's absolutely I think fine. Everybody comes into this a little skeptical with lots of questions. But yeah, definitely, what if this is something that could, change your life or give you the opportunity to say yes to a little bit more and, enjoy a bit more of what you love to do. All right. Thanks, guys.